Okay, so today I'd like to talk to you about what I call the secondary hidden benefit. And what I mean by that is this. For example, in my program, I have my dynamic equity integration program. I have a 90-day accelerator where people come in for a certain amount of time, 90 days, and I help them land at least one equity client. Well, the secondary hidden benefit is when people come into that program, or even if they don't come into the program, if I talk to them on the phone about that program, the hidden secondary benefit is that some of those people who might be interested in signing up for the 90-day program may end up becoming equity partners themselves. So I'd like to ask you to ask yourself, when you have offers of various sorts, what hidden secondary benefit might you be able to offer to people that is as good or better than the primary offer that you thought about as you put things together? This is really important because it allows you to have some latitude. Say, for example, you're talking to people on the phone and they don't seem too excited about the primary benefit that you're offering them. I'd like you to always be thinking about and have kind of in your pocket a secondary thing that you might be able to offer them. This might be also in the form of a downsell, and I'm sure at some point I'll be talking to you more about those as well. But the whole idea is when you get someone on the phone for a sales opportunity in which you're trying to sell them anything, whatever that is, you want to be very conscious of the fact that that individual, and again, let's say you have a really great closing ratio. Let's say you're closing 30% of people. That means that 70% of the people that you talk to will not buy. So my question is, if you let those 70% of the people go without offering them anything else, or without having anything to offer them that might be of major benefit to them, you're really losing out. You've already spent the time, the money, the energy to get them on a call. And so you've got this incredible 30% closing ratio. Great. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear that you're doing those kinds of numbers. However, the fact that 70% of the people, I mean, if you think about it, that's more than half of the people who are leaving or getting off that call without having bought from you. So my question to you is, what are you going to have? And if we're talking about it this way, we also might want to talk about tertiary benefit. So in other words, you've got a primary benefit, your primary offer, you close 30% of those people. The 70% of the people, now you have a secondary benefit that's the thing that you always mention. So say at the end of a sales call, you determine this isn't a good fit for that particular individual. And you say, hey, by the way, as we've been talking, I've been thinking to myself that even though, and this is me now talking about my program, even though I don't think you're a very good fit for my 90-day accelerator, have you ever considered maybe taking your knowledge that you have and packaging it and selling it and maybe partnering with someone? I might be happy to explore that as an opportunity. So the tertiary benefit might be, if they say no to that, is there something yet additional that you have, tucked behind the back door that you can pull out and say, well, if that's not a good fit. Now, again, you don't want to appear too much like you're a used car salesperson trying to sell them something or anything to make sure that you can improve your results in terms of dollars spent or time spent and dollars generated. So your ROAS, whether it's in advertising form or in, using your virtual assistant to get people on a phone call on LinkedIn or whatever. But I think you may want to consider, is there a third benefit? For me, for example, I might say to someone, hey, you're not a really, doesn't seem like it's a good fit for the 90-day accelerator. What about the partnership? At the end of that conversation, it appears they aren't a good benefit to that. I say, well, let me just send you a link to my $997 do-it-yourself program, and that might be a good thing. So my point is that once you get people on the phone, you're not going to close every single one of them. Your closing ratio will not be 100%. If it is, I'd like to hear about it because that's something I've never seen. But if you get them on the phone and you can't close them on offer and element number one, then we want to have offer number two that is related and makes sense to offer in the background. And then we also want to have an offer number three that can be done in such a manner as not to appear too salesy or to used car salesy. So I hope that helps. And as you get on the phone with anyone at any time, as I do with my calls for the Dynamic Equity Accelerator program and other elements of my program, do the same with yours as well. And I hope that helps.